Hello, my name is Markus, and I want to talk about the seed of a story. So, what is the seed of the story? Basically, it's the first contact point from you and your story. This can happen from a picture in your head or just a strong emotion that can cause you imagining a situation. The seed of a story comes from the thought that the first initial contact point between you and your story can actually be before you ask the what if question. What if something like this happens? But I think this question comes after you had a certain image in your mind that created an emotional reaction. So I personally use music to induce a state of thought. And then when I drift away while listening to music, I sometimes get this really small points where like an image flashes into my mind. And that's the first contact point between you and your story. So now you have first to realize that this was actually a point which you can use to make up a story about. So first think about what is in this scene, what you just thought about. What do you see in your inner eye? And also what emotions does it create with you? And then think about what would be the world where such an situation could happen. And just first from the picture and from the emotion, you flesh out the whole situation. And from that situation, you can extrapolate to a whole world. So think about where, in which world could this happen, and what would be the prerequisites to the situation happening. Think about what must happen before and where could such a situation happen. Because with storytelling, you can be completely abstract. You can just think about the few rules of a world and make them so. So the only real world contact between your story and the real world needs actually to be the emotional reaction. Everything other from that, you can just make up and make some very interesting points. So if you become more and more aware of such situation where you get a small seed that you can grow into a garden, you come up with way more stories. How to get more of these points. Basically, you just need to be aware. If you drift away and have a thought that could be used as a story, you need just first to recognize that your thought drifted away to such a point that could be used as a story. Because often we have these story points in our head, and we don't even recognize them because our mind immediately drifts further. And sometimes we just hear music and just drift away in our thoughts and never recognize that we just had actually a very good idea that we can use to construct a story from. And basically this seed always have a strong emotional connection to you, because it's basically something that created a reaction in your mind in the first place. And that is a very good sign, because one of the best things about storytelling is that other people can view the situation out of your eyes, basically. So these points can be used very well as entry points to construct a story from.